If losing this game still won me the bronze, I'd sell both our tickets and we'd sit on the lawn. And hey, be cool for the interview. I don't recall the question, but clearly the answer was you. Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 132. My name is Matthew Keel. I'm at infinite_rewind on every social media platform imaginable. Alongside me are my bros. And we have someone in the chat already, fellas. We got Deshaun with us.
Yeah.
Deshaun is starting with us. Yeah. Corey, at CoreyinHD 713.
Yeah, look at that guy.
At all, or if not all, at most places?
No, just Twitter.
Just Twitter? Okay.
It's literally CoreyinHD everywhere else except Twitter.
Okay, so I can
if you want to be my Instagram friend, if you want to follow me on Twitch, if you want to snap me a pic in Snapchat, if that's still a thing. I don't know. I deleted the app like a year ago, but you know. CoreyinHD. Yeah.
If you are amongst the very young at heart. How are you, sir? You good?
You know what? My three favorite things are video games, Ninja Turtles, and video games. So
okay.
Child.
I mean, you are the Nerds Gone Rogue, social media team.
It's fair. Probably why we don't get a lot of traction. I do my best, guys. I'm sorry.
You do. You're not. No one's mad at you. Moose at Svhenn everywhere. How are you, sir?
Doing good, man.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. Moose, sound more excited to be here.
I am excited to be here, man.
Give me a
woo!
Yeah. I can't do real loud because the baby's trying to sleep. But
we need more. We need more moose woos.
My wife will come kill me.
That's not. She won't do it live. Kelly's smart enough. She'll want to hide the evidence.
That's true. That's a good point.
Probably in a burger.
Yeah, moose burger.
Yeah. Those are real.
They are. So we play video games here. We try to talk about them. I'm going to go first this week because I've been playing the newest, latest, most up-to-date games all week. I've been playing The Division 1 from 2016.
I just re-downloaded it.
Yeah.
On PlayStation.
I did this because I've always wanted to go back and get that platinum. Also, I don't like to do betas, so I figured I'd just use the first one as sort of my primer to get ready for the second one. I know you both have played the beta, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
we had a long discussion about it on Dark Zone Junkies. It's good.
Okay.
I actually played a lot more after that, though. By the way, it's really good. I really like the mechanics. I like the cover-based shooting. I think somebody should be talking about The Division as best in class for third-person shooting mechanics.
Having played the first one, I'm like, man, this is really good.
It just really bums me out that like people talked about Resident Evil 4 for a long time, and they talked about Gears of War. Nobody's talking about how good the mechanics in The Division are, and people need to be talking about The Division.
Well, okay, but you mentioned Resident Evil 4. That's not exactly new.
No, I mean like
Gears of
I mean
War.
the progression in third-person shooting action games.
And
Resident Evil set a standard, and then Gears of War set a new standard, and now I think The Division sets an even higher standard. As someone who's been playing a lot of Gears of War 4,
Mm-hmm.
That game feels archaic compared to the Division.
When did 4 come out? When did Gears of War 4?
2015.
Okay, so now the Division is came out in 2016, if I remember correctly. So and honestly, like, I'm with you on this, but also the game is only 3 years old. And I feel like the standards you just mentioned with Gears of War and Resident Evil 4, like those have been around for a long time.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, Gears of War has a recent entry, and like I feel like they could have, changed up a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, I really hope that the Coalition is looking at the Division and being like, "Whoa, this game feels great. Our game feels a little slow and clunky.
Yeah,
you need to do something."
But yeah, the Division's shooting mechanics are really good. I still think that that game got a short shaft because of storytelling. Like I also feel like the story in the Division is good.
It's at least interesting,
or at least the setup is like really good. I mean, I'm granted, going through those echoes and everything, that those aren't great. I feel like they could have been better, because I actually went through and listened to most of them. But I feel like it did environmental storytelling really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the dark zone. Going into the dark zone now is actually way more fun than going in. Mainly because since I've been going in, this past week, there's been no other players there. It's been great. It's been just PvE, and it's been difficult PvE because it's kind of set up for teams rather than just one thing. But yeah, I started going in Friday, and I finished all the missions on hard. I finished a challenging mission, extracted from everywhere in the dark zone. Basically, I just need one. I just need 2 more trophies for the platinum, and I'm hopefully I will get that this week.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you think environmental storytelling was done well in Division 1.
Mm-hmm.
If you play the Division 2, like Moose and I were talking about this on Saturday, it's like middle of summer, and there's like old kind of rusty Christmas stuff still up from when the first game happened. But it's like the middle of summer, so you're walking down the street, and all of a sudden you see these Christmas lights kind of strung up on a building, and wreaths falling down, and these giant candy cane poles sticking out of the ground. It's really like, it really tells a story of like, wow, time has really passed, and everybody's trying to survive instead of cleaning up the Christmas stuff because it's June. So
yeah, so that's really all. I've only really been playing the Division 1. I've also been playing the new Apex Legends, and I know we'll probably talk about both.
Yes,
pretty significantly. Either of you playing anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing that Wargroove on the Nintendo Switch. If you like Advance Wars or Fire Emblem, this is that straight up. Feels really good to play. Just trying to get those S ranks on those missions, man. If you want to get an S rank in Wargroove, you need to find a way to beat the boss as soon as possible. I mean, you can try to kill everybody, but like if you spend time trying to kill all the units instead of going for the boss, like you're not going to get an S rank. And granted, you have to take enemies out to get to the boss, but you need to take the shortest path possible to get to the boss, because those S ranks unlocks more levels, more modes. You can play through the whole campaign and download user generated levels and whatever, right, without a problem. But there's like challenge levels, and you need a certain amount of stars to unlock them. And if you 3-star or S rank all the levels, like you need a certain amount to unlock the challenge levels. So, Yeah, if you guys are going for that S rank and 3 stars for those levels, you need to head straight for the boss.
And that's just on Switch, right?
Nope, it's on Switch, PC, and Xbox right now.
Okay.
PlayStation to come soon. I think they're waiting for the cross-platform stuff. I think they're waiting for approval to get in the crossplay beta, because right now it's crossplay between Xbox, Switch, and PC. And PC mod support is coming soon. And yeah, it's cool. And the user, like, creating the levels and stuff is really cool. Like, doing the, like, actually placing the units, and you can actually create your own little mini campaign if you really want to. You can string stuff together. You can make cutscenes. You can do little text boxes. It's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And there's dogs. One of your units is a dog. It's awesome.
Dogs are good in games.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like, the little touches in the game are cool, because, like, if all the enemies or all of your units can die, right? But when the dog's health goes all the way down, he just runs away. So, like, it's funny because they don't kill the dog; they just make it run away. But it's cool. So I've been playing that, and then I've been playing Destiny also. So, yeah, that's kind of all I've been playing. But Wargroove is good. If you have a Switch and you have $20 burning a hole in your pocket, you should probably buy it.
Cool. Moose?
Just Division 1 polished off the platinum last week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Been playing that off and on. Did the beta. Played a lot of the Hong Kong Massacre yesterday. That's a lot of fun. Again, it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd ever platinum it, because I was looking at it and I'm like, I just want to have fun with the game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think trying to platinum it, I'm going to have fun with it, because I feel like you have to get, like, all 3 challenged. So, like, there's 3 challenge stars on each level, and, like, one is as long as you don't use your slowdown, because there's a slowdown skill in the game, so it's kind of like Max Payne's time, and then there's a challenge. You get a challenge star for not using the dodge or the roll mechanic, and then there's one for hitting every target. I feel like I could get, like, every target, like, only your shots only hit your target.
Yeah.
So, like, not like blowing the wall behind them or something. Like,
you're not missing.
Yeah, you can't miss. So I was like, I could probably do, like, one of those trophies, maybe 2, or one of those stars, but I was like, I'm not going to get the 3rd one. I didn't even look at the trophy list. That might not even be part of it, but I would doubt it isn't. Yeah. See, I was going to say I would highly doubt that it isn't. But
when you showed me that game, I went looking to see if trophy lists were out, because it was like, okay, so I platinumed Hotline Miami. I bet you I could platinum this. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't know if I can.
Yeah,
because there's one you basically have to play the entire game without dying. And
yeah, fuck that. I just want to have fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna, I feel like trying to save scum your way through that just is a hard thing. It's Deshaun. What's the game called? It's Hong Kong Massacre. It is a better looking Hotline Miami. But I don't. It's not.
It's more. I wouldn't say better looking. It's like Hotline Miami looks good because it's like a 16-bit. You know.
Yeah, I'm not saying. Yeah, I wasn't trying to say Hotline Miami looked bad.
Yeah, it's just like it's just more photorealistic.
Phillips. It's called Bloodborne.
But anyways, so played a bunch of that. I've been playing Apex Legends, rolling through that a little bit. I played that tonight before I got on here, so that was pretty fun. Played some with Justin. It was good. But, yeah,
cool. So, I know you played the Division 2 beta as well. Any thoughts? Because like I watched Phillips's videos on it, and that game looks really good. It looks really good.
I feel like they it's basically I'm not trying to like take away from the game, but it's like Division 1, but with like quality of life improvements, and then just graphical improvements and control mechanics and stuff like that. So I feel like they're improving a lot of good stuff in the game. I thought they almost took something away from us yesterday. I was playing with Alan Heinen, and I thought they took away the shootability of the tires on cars, and because some of the tires you couldn't shoot even though they weren't flat, and I was like, well, that's ridiculous. I was like, that was like the most fun part of Division 1, just running down the street and then being like, you know what, I'm just gonna shoot tires out all the way to my.
And you still get car alarms and everything.
Yeah, and you get like a puff of air and a satisfying sound, you know, of a tire being hit by a bullet.
And then you just take a step back, you put your arms at your sides, like, yes, I have affected this world.
Yeah, and some of the cars didn't have that, but then like we were down another street, and then I was just shooting for the hell of it because we just completed a mission. And the tires were able to be shot, and I was like, well, I wonder if it's like certain situations, because now they have areas where like cars are piled on top of cars and all that stuff, and so you're just like, obvious, you know, like. So, you know, they have to like take away from some of it, you know, because there's so much shit going on screen at once. But
yeah,
the shooting's good. They added I checked it today. They did add the mechanic where you can move faster. So like if you're behind like a pillar, a squared pillar, and you want to move to the other side of it, like you can actually turn up the speed on how fast you move around the corner. And so, like, I think that's pretty cool that they added that feature. You can parkour through the game, which means, like, when you run up to something, you auto climb it and jump over and go. I mean, so you could either have that on and just, like, when you roll up to something you want to get into cover, just, like, slow down before you get to it. Or you could just always hold down circle as you're running to things and turn the parkour off. But I thought those features were pretty cool. The restock, like, when someone picks up restock, it drops ammo for everybody, so everybody doesn't have to stop and kneel in front of the box and wait for everybody.
It'll take 3 days.
Yeah, like one person just does it, and then you walk by the little white pillar of the ammo, and you'll pick up whatever your ammo can, and then you just keep moving on to the next thing. But I did the end game. Apparently, yesterday morning when I tried the end game mission, I was doing it on hard, and I thought it was normal, and I was like, holy shit, this is hard. Like there were 4 of us and we died a lot. And then I played it again later in the afternoon with Jurgen, and we were on normal, and I was like, this is easy. Like, what is going on? And I was like, I must have been playing it. I was like, this morning I must have been playing it on hard and just didn't know it. Cause like we died like so much, and they like they took so much damage to get their health bars down and stuff. But anyways, it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to play it. I can't wait to jump into it. I didn't get to try the PvP, the conquest or domination, whatever the hell you know, hold the points. I didn't get to try team deathmatch, so I think that'll be cool. And I didn't get to try the dark zone, so I'm kind of leaving that stuff for the actual game, because I know I'll jump in and play it. But everything else is on point. It feels really good. The only negative I could take away from it is they changed sniper rifles. So like sniper rifles, if you had like a 12 times zoom scope, like you used to be able to like hit L1 to like aim, and you would still just have the reticule on like the screen, and then you would have to click on the L1 button or the L3 button to zoom in. And so like this time, if it has a scope that zooms, it automatically zooms. So there's no like just trying to aim at somebody like right in front of you or like 10 feet away. Like you have to like it zooms way down field. So I don't know. I feel like they've got like a semi-automatic rifle. So they've got the sniper rifle, and then they got like this like mid-range semi-automatic rifle, and I think that is gonna be that's going to be the mid-range gun. Like if you want a sniper rifle where you're not zooming in real far, you could use that type of weapon.
Okay.
But
Lee Navarro, president accounted for in the chat. He just says, yo. So I'm saying yo back.
Lee.
So can how's the AI this time around?
Fucking hard, dude. Like
Now, is it hard? Is it hard?
Hey.
Because here's the thing: playing the first one, I've noticed that you can't sneak up on anybody. Like it's not that,
people.
You can sneak up on people. It's just the really bad respawn points. Like sometimes you'll be like trying to sneak up on somebody, and then once you engage, a random group of people will show up behind you.
Yeah,
like
direct your shot.
We like when Jesse and I were playing, we were doing this mission and we were hiding out in this alley, right? And there was literally nobody behind us, right? And we were like, let's use this alley for cover so we can sneak up on this group of dudes so we can get into the mission, right? So we're like getting ready, we're like, you know, throwing our turrets to flank people, throwing grenades to do some damage before we actually engage in a firefight. And partway through the firefight, like 5 or 6 guys show up behind us. It's like we used this alleyway because there wasn't anybody here, and now they're behind us. And that was my one really only complaint with the beta was like some of these enemy spawn points are kind of ridiculous. And I think it was like that in the Division 1 also, I believe.
Yeah,
for a while.
That's because having done I went through the Dark Zone overnight, just trying to extract from every point, and I noticed that like since I was doing it by myself and everything is always a level above you, you can't just go in and I can't just be me and go in and kill everything. I have to actually play smart, and I'm not good at that. So I would basically like either set up a turret on one side of an extraction point and throw a bunch of grenades to sort of get everybody to come around, and call in the chopper to extract, just so I could, you know, keep busy with them for 90 seconds. But it seemed like no matter if you do that, they know and try and circle around. If you do that and try and circle around the back, by the time you get to the back, they're waiting for you. And I'm like, yeah, like come on. I'm not saying you have to be easy, but I feel like it's possible to be better.
Like they totally, the respawn was crazy in the Dark Zone. Like I was trying to help Jason with the kill a yellow named character. Like they have to have a yellow health bar, and they have to be named, and you have to kill 10 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Well, like we were coming up on this group, and there was like just the light characters, and so we engaged them, and then the heavy purples popped and it spawned, and then the yellow name character spawned. Meanwhile, behind us, all the heavies and the yellow character on the street behind us spawned, and then they were like, oh hey, there's a fight over here, and came and joined the fight. And so we got like sandwiched in between, and we had to like fight our way to a point where like, you know, we could like try and at least control the situation. But I feel like the AI in the second one is a little smarter when you're fighting the like when I did the mission on normal and hard, like they flank you, they move fast, like they're not just like standing there and you know, Phillips Captain Ken is in the chat. The AI is still stupid in many cases. Difficulty comes oftentimes from the hit points they carry, and some enemies require being hit in certain spots. Now I can agree with that, but like the missions, it seems like they're going to be a little bit smarter. Like they're going to be flanking you, taking cover, waiting, you know, for you to be preoccupied with somebody else to try and get at you. And then, like I don't know. Like some of it was annoying. Like the AI, like when you're like Corey was saying, like when you're just running and you go to engage in a group, and all of a sudden somebody just comes up and just starts like shooting you, and I feel like I'm taking like 2 hits from this guy shooting me from behind, and my armor is just dropping like nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, he's like down the block. Why am I taking like significant damage from this dude like 300 feet down the road? You know what I mean? Like this guy, he ain't no stormtrooper, right? You know? And so like that was a little frustrating. They still have melee characters. They got what seems to be, and they seem to be like, I haven't seen a male one do it yet, but they have like these female characters that puff. It's like it's almost like Venom on Venom. So like they do like this puff of an inhaler or whatever, or pop, and then they get like this little green health bar on top of their health bar, and so you have to like get through that before you can start taking them down health wise. And they bum rush you more than the bat people do. So it's just I think it's going to be. I think the AI is better than Division 1. And so I think it's an improvement. It still has some issues, but you can work around it.
Right.
You know?
Well, and the one thing I noticed, and I noticed this a lot in the Dark Zone, I did like how, and I see this now more than I did the first time around.
Captain K is in the chat saying the person's taking, it's called Browns fan in a can. You inhale and it makes you go insane.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, we signed Kareem Hunt today. We signed a running back when we have 2 good running backs. I don't.
Yeah.
I wonder if the only thing I can think of is that if he turns out to be decent, we're going to trade him for something.
Okay.
That's all I can think of is we signed him for trade bait because we have Duke Johnson and Nick Chubb. So I don't know.
Okay, well, back to Division.
Yeah. Sorry. Somebody mentioned the Browns. I had to say something.
No, it's fair. It's fair. It's fair. I am mad at you. But I did like it. I did like in the Dark Zone how the factions didn't like each other. But one thing I didn't care for, and maybe this is just a lore thing that I didn't remember. If you walk in on 2 factions fighting, they see you from ridiculous distance and immediately don't care that the other faction exists.
Yeah, their whole point is to like destroy you.
And I'm like, they're right next to each other and they're enemies. I mean, logic would say I'd pick off. Why not pick off the enemy that's closest?
Or like I don't know if they're already engaged too. You know what I mean? Like they're already engaged in a fight, and then all of a sudden it just becomes like each faction coming down their side of the street after you, and you're just like, "What the hell is going on?"
But I do like that game, and I am now fully excited for the Division 2. Hopefully, like, well, actually, you know, I'm going to play a shit ton of it because the mechanics are good, as Corey said.
I do still find like fighting the controls a little bit. Like I feel like I would like it if like when you're up against a wall, if you could like crouch. Like I still wish there was a crouch button. Like it because you're like
if you have one size of cover right next to each other and you're standing at the tall one. Oh yeah, it's fucking annoying.
Or like you're up against a wall and there's like a brick square thing that was like a flower bed for flowers or plants or whatever inside a building. You can't like crouch down so that they you know that it makes it smaller of a circle for them to get their shots through to actually do damage. No, you're just standing up against there and they're
face in range.
Yeah.
It's like shoot me.
It just yeah, like that kind of ticked me off a little bit. And then the grenade, so it's just I wish like I said, there's a fucking crouch button. I wish there was a crouch button while you're like running or walking. Like you can hit crouch and then like, but I feel like they want you. And here's the other thing that I was doing. I was trying to do it with Division 2 while I played it, using while you're in cover and then holding X to get to other cover in front of you. So like I never really used that in the first one. And so I feel like because that mechanic is there, they're like, we don't need a crouch button. So, but like, I wish there was one for when you're in cover standing and you're like, no, I want to crouch down, you know? So that's just, you know, 2 complaints, sniper rifles and the crouch button. But
well, that smart cover in the Division 1, it's not fast. Like if you're engaged,
I think it depends on the distance you're covering. Because like I found it to be pretty fast in both. Maybe a little bit faster in Division 2. Like because I went back and played Division 1 yesterday and was like playing a low level character, and I was like, I'm gonna move from cover to cover, like as I go down this street, just to like get used to it again. And I thought she moved pretty quickly. I mean, I don't know.
I have not. I didn't. It didn't feel very fast to me at all.
Okay.
And I would, and like, and I thought that I had the same sort of thought that you did. Like, maybe if I picked closer cover, it would be quicker. And it just didn't. It didn't feel quick. You know. But also, I realized there was smart cover in Division 1 this time around. I did not know about it the first time around, or maybe I did and just actively ignored it. And I feel like I was in engagements by myself. I was dying a lot less than when I was playing with you guys.
Are you talking about like moving from cover to cover?
Yeah, I realized how to do it. To do it now.
It's always been there.
Yeah, I know it has, but I'm just saying I realized
not from that.
Not for me, no, not at all. Not at all. But then again, if I knew about it then, none of y'all would have your your medic trophies. So you're welcome.
We would have got it eventually.
Again, you're welcome. So let's talk about Apex Legends, because I know we've all been playing that.
Yeah, let's talk about Apex Legends. What a fantastic!
I would, if you would have told me last year that I would think a battle royale game is early on contender for game of the year, I would.
If you would have told me that a week ago,
I would have said,
dude, let me tell you what, man. I mean, look, I've played my share of PUBG and Fortnite and Blackout, you know, for shows on Arsenal X, but like Apex Legends is the first battle royale game I want to learn, I want to get better at, and I want to win. Right? Like it's the first time I'm actually like, wow, I feel like I can actually compete in this game. And you know, they have a medic, which makes me feel a lot better about playing it because you know it has that Overwatch aspect to it. Gibraltar is cool. I pretty much main Lifeline. If I can be Lifeline, I'm going to be Lifeline. But you know, Gibraltar is cool. The soldier chick is cool.
Let's be real. All these characters are cool.
Yeah, I mean they're all really cool. But I'm just like I'm trying to like ease myself into playing other characters and not being afraid to learn how to use them. Right. I think Mirage, the character that can like you know project himself everywhere. Like I think that's an interesting take on a hero character. Because like it got really confusing when Jesse and I were playing this weekend. His ultimate.
If you're not Mirage and he uses his ultimate, it's fucking annoying.
Yeah. Well, we got tricked and we died. That's all I can say. And then the character that does all the toxic kind of smoke stuff,
Caustic.
Yeah, that character in enclosed spaces is terrifying.
Yeah.
We went in as a team of 3 and he was the only one in there and he popped his super and we all died because the smoke can't see. And then like, you know, he's kind of protected from it because it's his smoke and he just took us all out, man. It was rough.
Right. It's Bangalore with passive damage. Like, this game is amazing.
Yeah, it's cool. And the guns feel cool. And like sliding down a hill real fast is like just a nice little feature. And you know what I like? It feels like they looked at all these battle royale games and like, what are they missing? You know, the ping system has been a lifesaver on multiple occasions playing this. Because like not only can you ping weapons or, you know, places where, hey, let's head over there, but like you can ping enemies and the indicator turns red. You can ping shields and they turn up green. Like just smart little touches like that. And even at the beginning of the match, when you jump out of the whatever you jump out of, and your whole team sticks together.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean you can break off if you want to, but like you have to choose that option to break off from your team, right? And just so your team sticks together. What a smart concept that was. So, I mean, Apex Legends is awesome. Like, honestly, I'm probably going to play a lot after we're done here because that game is really cool.
Shooting's really good. Character skills are good. I think just like the learning curve There's a learning curve as in like, how do I heal? How do I do this? How do I, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, this game made me re-download Titanfall 2 because I want to play. I want to finish that campaign.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now that I kind of like know what the weapons are, I can be like, yeah, let's go. Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2, by the way, great game in and of itself.
Fucking good, yeah.
Multiplayer.
Turns out Respawn knows how to make a great first-person shooter.
Yeah,
fucking new.
They are underrated. I feel the movement is smooth. The aim down sights is good. The control of the weapons are good. I still feel like they could do a better job of spawning a little bit more guns. Like I run around for like 2 minutes with no weapon, and it's like that's ridiculous. If I go into a building, like at least give me a weapon. Don't just give me like, oh hey, here's a shield boost. Oh, so I can take damage and heal myself just for the guy to kill me, after I run out. Like I think they need to have they need to have better spawn rates for their weapons. But other than that, I think it's cool. Like it's cool how they have like tiered armor. They have tiered guns, or they have tiered add-ons to your guns, like attachments.
Yeah.
So I watched a video that our buddy Cezanne posted where he had the devotion was it's a really good light machine gun. The only thing is it takes a while for it to rev up before it starts firing. But once it starts firing, it annihilates. Well, there's a gold level perk that you can pop on there, and the rev up time is like cut like down to nothing. So you're basically like just destroying people. And so, and it's funny because I saw that on his video today. I came home and played it, and I found that I didn't have the devotion, but I found the attachment, and I'm like, well, fuck you. I was like, I want the devotion. But guns are pretty cool. Shields are pretty cool. Like I got in a fight with a guy, and I had like a pistol and a shotgun, and I wasn't gonna hit him, and I was playing the soldier. I was like, F this, I'm not gonna win, because he was playing Gibraltar, the guy with the shield. And I broke his shield from him, but he was starting to do more damage to me than I was to him. I just popped the soldier's smoke grenades, shot him over him so that they exploded on him, and then I just took it. I booked it and got away from him, because I was like, this is just insanity. I'm not going to win this because he's far away, and I don't know where he is, So like, as far as in the smoke, like as soon as I pop the smoke, I'm like, I'm not going to find him in the smoke. So I'm gone, know, but it was pretty cool using it as a escape plan. But I've used there's the robot that has the grappling hook. And then also you can actually drop a zip line from like anywhere, and so like as long as the wall is blue to what you're hitting it to, you can pretty much hit it to and zip line. Because I think you and maybe me, Captain Canada, me and Dom were playing that, and they were like, "We got to get moving. We're outside the circle," and I'm just like, "Y'all motherfuckers haven't played Battle Royale before, have you?" Like. You got time. I didn't say that to him, but I was running to another building a little bit further away from the circle, getting some stuff. And then like I saw them moving, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll just hit a zip line into that rock wall and meet up with them. And right when I did that, they got into an engagement with people, and I was able to drop behind the people and get some shots off, but obviously my pistol was not going to do damage compared to their shotgun, and so they wrecked me. I was like, damn it. I was like, that's when you wish like they had better gun placement, you know what I mean? Like just anything better, and then I would have been able to like drop back behind them and annihilate them. I think the shield that you can use when you're downed.
Oh, that's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you can protect yourself, and maybe your teammate can take out the guy trying to hit you and then revive you. I think also the respawn thing is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, none of us have mentioned that.
It's a risk reward thing where like if you guys haven't played it, like you take your dead teammate's banner and you have to take it to this little kiosk thing, and you can revive a teammate if they're out, and that's a cool little. That's just a cool little addition, that I mean, it's a big risk reward thing like that. There's always people around that kiosk, like making sure that people don't revive their teammates. But like, if you can get there, that could be a game changer for your team.
Well, it's also like if you're, I mean, sometimes it's not too risky because like you might be off like in a far corner because like a lot of people tend to drop and then like the circle will appear like at the top. So they're like all coming in at the bottom part of the circle and you might be at the top part. And if you took on a squad, you're still good running to, and it's the bank. It's the freaking bank from the bounty mode in Titanfall 2, which is hilarious. But I think that is a great addition to the game. And like I said, the shooting's cool. And then there's the one cool thing is the drop ship, like the supply ship that flies around the map, and you can actually go to that ship, but you have better be quick and you better find a pistol because like a lot of people tend to drop there, and if they find the weapon first, you're toast. So like
the first time I played, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to share this.
I'm done.
No. I dropped onto that, but it was after it had been out for a couple of days, so everybody was dropping onto that. None of us picked up a weapon. There were like 15 people on this thing, and it turned into a royal rumble of trying to just punch people. And this is why I love that there's no fall damage. Well, I both love and hate it because I punched a couple of people off of the drop ship and they didn't die, of course, because you don't take fall damage. But then when I got punched, I was like, oh no! And then I landed. I'm like, oh, okay, I can just keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just wanted to interject with that. Continue.
No, I was actually done. Like, you know,
okay.
I mean, that happened to me when we were dropping today. I picked the supply ship and I got a gun and only had like 3 rounds though. And so this guy was trying to punch me, and then my teammate got a gun and downed that person, and then like the other person's teammate started firing at them, and so she like punched him off or something, and then I was down on like the legs or the part of the ship in between the main platform and like the boosters, dying. So my teammate came down, healed me, and then we just fell. Because the ship, after a certain point, like it just like
it lands.
No, like it just basically just like disappears, and so like it was basically like we were stuck as it was like going underneath us to like despawn, and we were gonna drop anyways. So
does it despawn? I thought it lands because I've seen it on the ground.
Maybe it does land, or I don't know what was going on with it, but we were not moving with it. So like, like we were stuck in midair as she was trying to heal me, and the ship just kept like going. And I wonder if it might be because she was trying to heal me off the main platform. You know, it was kind of like a bug or something. But still, it was pretty funny. It's a great game. Pick it up if you love Titanfall.
It's free.
It's free. Nab it, and it is pay to play. Or not pay to play, it's free to play. Yeah. But I wanted to say it's not pay to win. So like they have 2 characters locked behind a paywall. You can earn in-game currency to unlock them.
Yeah, and if you're an EA Access or Origin Access member, you get enough points, like whatever that gold currency is, you get enough to unlock one right away.
Cool.
So
I did find that like I have enough fun with the 6 of the 8 characters that are free, so I have no need to like buy them. Now I might actually buy them and throw some support respawns way.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason
I would buy them. Like I would buy that currency. I would not buy it. Like the skins are cool and stuff, but you earn your skins through your Apex packs, and you know there's some fun there. So I just feel, and like it's crazy how small the map looks when you're in the plane ready to jump, and then when you just get down on the ground, it's like, holy shit, this thing's freaking huge. You know what I mean? Like the map is huge. I feel it plays really well. I don't know if you guys, I didn't experience any slowdown. I'm on a PS4 Pro, didn't experience any slowdown.
I've played it on both, and I haven't nothing.
Yeah, like it plays really smooth. Like,
really smooth. Yeah, I haven't had any issues.
The only time I noticed any slowdown, and I don't know why this was, but I was actually in a party with Chris Haar and Paul Linga yesterday morning, and I noticed some rubber banding. But I also think that could be just we're all just spread out. So
yeah, I mean, it could be that.
But one thing I will share that Paul came up with that actually worked really well for the three of us is if you're dropping with a team, like spread off. If you're gonna pick an area, like spread off, like right before you land, and each of you go to like a different building, probably find more guns that way. Because usually, if you're all just running into the same place, one of you is gonna get the gun.
Yeah.
Well, see, I automatically like try and run away from my teammates to like a building. So like I'll see where we drop and I immediately start running towards something. Because like I agree with you, because like you're just gonna be going up through something, and like some buildings obviously are bigger than others, and you'll find like more helmets and more chest piece armor, and that way you could just point them out as you're running by them because you already have it and you're looking for like another weapon. And like I try and pick up like everything I can. Like it's a little bit different than Blackout, because like I feel in Blackout like you can pick up ammo and just keep picking up ammo as you go to like steal this. Like basically I try and do a scorched earth policy. Like I try and leave nothing behind for like anybody that would be coming in behind me to like take and use against me. So like I use weapons, like I grab stuff like that. And so like I highly recommend just picking that stuff up as you go. But like in this one, like for Blackout, I recommend that. But like for Apex, like you don't want to you only want to carry the ammo for the 2 guns you got on you, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's all you're looking for, and that's all you want to grab. Like I found a pretty cool spot to drop today, which I like to drop on, because like you get into the main area and it's tanks, and underneath the tanks are like little like you know what I mean, like drop areas, and there's like nothing but guns and armor under there. So like you can be like, oh, I don't want a sniper rifle, I'll take the flatline and I'll take the devotion, and I'll be running around with that. And so like I like dropping in that area. Like it's pretty cool. So it's
I thought of a few that are like high tier loot. So
yeah, that's good.
Depending on like what the path of the dropship is, but this game is so good.
Yeah, it's definitely a surprise to me, to be sure, because like Battle Royale, like I enjoy them, but I'm not like itching to play them until now, you know.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's a surprise that you actually your enjoyment of it is a surprise, not that it's actually good.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean like I enjoy playing Blackout and, you know, Fortnite and PUBG, but like this is the game I want to get better at and keep playing, you know. So
because I mean, like when they said Respawn was putting out a Battle Royale mode game, I was like, what? I'm like, that's going to be awesome, you know. And it was like, it was rumored to be like, it was not it was it was like last weekend.
Yeah, it like leaked the day before it came out.
Saturday, I think.
Yeah, it was Friday, like Saturday, and I was like, what's going on? And I was like reading the tweets and stuff like that, and I'm like, a pilot only mode. I'm like, that'd be awesome. I love pilot versus pilots. I loved, I think it was like Fire Strike or something like that. The one where it's like capture the flag, but it's like 30 seconds. Like you have 30 seconds to capture the flag or something. And it was like just a rate. And like once you were dead, you were dead. So like they had some really cool modes for the pilots in Titanfall 2, the PV or the competitive, you know, the multiplayer. So I was like, if it's going to be more like that, like sign me up. Like, I don't even care if it's Battle Royale, you know, like give me guns from that game. And they pretty much all of them do that. Like all of them like, you know, you got the grappling hook, you got the one chick can disappear. Like there's some added stuff. Like the smoke screen wasn't in the first game that I know of. There's probably smoke grenades, but anyways, it's really cool.
Well, when I saw this breaking, like I wasn't sure what was going on because everyone was saying like I saw a tweet from like Jeff Keighley saying "R.I.P. Titans" or whatever, and he had the Titans from Titanfall. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Respawn didn't just close, did they? And then they're like, Respawn's doing like a battle royale game. I'm like, wait, a battle royale Titanfall?
Nah.
And then when I figured out what it was, and I saw like a reveal trailer, I'm like, so what is this? And then I'm like, okay, it's free. I'll download it and play it because this time around I want to play it at the beginning, not come to it the next year. So I'm sitting here going, man, I should have played this shit last year.
Yeah.
But everybody getting mad that this what I did like is everybody was mad that this wasn't Titanfall 3, and then when they played it, they're like, this isn't bad that it's not Titanfall 3.
Yeah,
like,
and I think it's because it's the people that love Titanfall 3 or Titanfall in general, like myself, and love Titanfall 2 that wants a Titanfall 3. And then I would personally, when I heard about it and heard there were no Titans, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever, that's cool. I still want to play it, because it's a shooter from Respawn. Like I was like, that's fine with me. I'm a little disappointed. And then they came out and actually stated that there's going to be something going on in the Titanfall universe coming later this year. Yeah. So, this, or maybe not later this year, but there could be an announcement, or whatever. And I feel like this is kind of like Respawn going, all right, we got the green light on a Titanfall game, but it was kind of late in the life cycle of this gen. How about we put it together a really good battle royale, put it out there, and that can be like what we do, what's out there while we go and develop the next Titanfall game for the next gen console. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that, because they're probably like, we could do so much more on next gen tech than what we can do on current gen, and then that way, give the fan base a lot more of what they want, or a better experience. So,
I think what's going to happen, because Respawn is owned by EA, right?
Yeah, sadly.
So I think what will happen is EA will probably make sure they support the fuck out of this.
Yeah, because this is the only thing keeping EA's ship afloat now.
Because EA loves microtransactions.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah,
okay.
Newsflash. Newsflash. EA likes money, and then they have one of their studios that put out a very good game full of microtransactions, all cosmetic, like Overwatch, whatever. But it's one of those that I think a lot of people will throw money at. So I feel like Respawn did themselves a solid, because now they're working on a Star Wars game, and they've basically created an influx of money, which will probably get them more Titanfall stuff.
I think since they developed it and created it and it's doing so well, I'm sure EA is not going to do this, but they should get the vast majority of it to help them develop their game. You know what I mean? Like all of it should go to their resources.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure all of FIFA's microtransactions are going into more FIFA.
Going into the next FIFA, which is that's the logical way.
Yeah, that's
to do business.
I mean, that's the right way to do it.
The right way to do it. But, I mean, EA's out there blaming single player games for their lack of gains this year. Granted, their games are still selling. They're just not selling as well as they used to. So that's the problem. And that's the same thing Activision's going through, and Activision's getting poised to like
lay off a bunch of people.
Lay off a bunch of people, which is horseshit, because it's like, why are you paying like CEOs who don't do jack shit like a shit ton of fucking money? They're not really doing anything. So and then they get to keep their $15 million salary, and your developer who gets paid like not that. I mean, hey, how about your CEOs take like a 10% cut, a 15% cut, and you can actually give the money, keep those employees on so they can keep making games and selling games. Yeah.
Well, the thing I'm really sick of is, and I'm gonna go on I'm not gonna go on a rant, but I'm just gonna paint a picture. There are a lot of folks in games coverage that are saying, they're talking like how there's a big movement to unionize the games industry, which I agree with, because game development and making movies or media A lot of that is very similar. And making movies or TV, all of those have unions, so those people working in those industries are taken care of. And I feel like that's a good thing. And I feel like games should have that. Now, there have been a few people on Twitter, especially the past weekend, saying, oh, well, here's how unions work in other industries, and there are still people making massive amount of money at the top. So why is this a problem when Activision is going to lay off all those people? Well, here's the thing. Those people, I don't know what those people's benefits packages are, and I don't know what the wage gap is, and the unionization helps protect that. Now, unionization isn't going to eliminate CEOs getting paid $15 million a year for whatever they do. I'm not going. I know that responsibility is a tiered thing at corporations, but like, if with a union situation, if you're getting laid off at one place, chances are that union can help get you into another.
Right.
And that is why unionization, that's why unionization is in theory a good thing. I have some thoughts about why unionization is bad too, because I've seen it, but I'm not going to go into that.
Well, I mean, it's also like whatchamacallit, Telltale going out of business and all the no severance packages.
Well, they had no warning.
CEOs kept all their money.
Of course.
Higher ups kept all their money. Shareholders kept all their money. And then like the people that worked for the games had no warning and were just dropped in a heartbeat. And, unionization will help in that situation where it's like, okay, well, no, like you need to give them a severance package. They need to have something to keep them afloat, because they're putting their blood, sweat, and tears into this game for you, and it's ridiculous. It's all, in my personal opinion, it's all going to eventually implode. Like EA and Ubisoft are all going to get to a point where something's going to happen and they're just going to start getting shut down because the stockholders are going to be like, how can I make money off this? Okay, well, we're going to sell you. We're just going to close you up. And we're going to sell the assets and get the money out of you, what I can, and call it a day, because they've set themselves up for failure, because, it's like, it just keeps going. In capitalism, you're like, your goal, it's not just, hey, let's make money and we're fine. The problem is the shareholders want more and more and more. And so it's like, you can't just make money that year. You can't just sustain. You have to make more than last year, this year, and next year you have to do better. Like that's the problem with the system and the structure. And I mean when you look at like the oil companies, making like, oh, they're at a 1.5 billion loss this year, and it's like, but they, what would they make? They made $4.5 billion. Okay, that's still a profit of $4.5 billion. You know what I mean? Like they
still made $4.5 billion.
You want to talk a loss? Let's get in the actual red. Like they made no money that year. That's when it's an actual loss. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. So it's just going to get worse and worse. And we're the ones, gamers are going to be the ones that are going to suffer until, that's why I'm glad there's indies out there. You can always buy a really good indie and still have good entertainment, and the cream will rise to the top. But that's
and I mean, and that's a reason I like indie games, just because I know it's going to people rather than faceless entities. Give or take, some situations. So we talked Apex, we talked Division 2, the beta. What else you guys got going on? You guys good?
That's about it.
Anything on your minds?
I'm just waiting for Friday.
Yeah.
It's already been that week for you.
No. I was just gonna say to the listeners and y'all, not because it's been that week for me, but just because Far Cry New Dawn comes out on Friday.
Oh shit!
That's what I'm excited about.
So does Metro, Anthem, and Crackdown 3.
Anthem comes out for early access. Anthem doesn't come out till next week.
I know, but
unless you broke out the freaking like.
Oh my god, that chart is not that confusing. If you
12
can't understand
row
it, you're a
by
fucking moron.
24.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Just making fun.
What chart?
There's a chart out
Everybody's
there.
going crazy over this stupid
Listen.
chart about when you can play Anthem, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's like building a rocket. I don't understand it. Is this an
It's
Indian?"
not. I'm not saying it's like that.
Okay.
I'm just
I'm
saying,
making fun of the internet. I know. I'm just.
Well,
I'm just saying it's fucking ridiculous that you have to have. It's not just like, okay, early access is a week early. Origins on Xbox is like 3 days. Like, it's not just that. It's like, if you buy this edition, you get it this time. If you buy this edition, it's like broke it down to where you're like, games just used to have a release date. Just release it on the fucking day it comes out. Like,
No, what the chart is though is like they had this chart that said like when you could play the demo and then the release date for the game, right? And it broke down when like if you're an EA Access or Origins Access member, you get to play the demo on this date. If you don't, you get to play the demo on this date. And then if you're an EA Access member, you get to play the game on this day. Or if you just pre-order the game, you get to play the game a week later. And people were like freaking out about it. And it's like, dude, come on. They're just providing you information.
But see, also we live in times where it's
people
easy.
won't be pissed about anything.
It's I mean that's
Like,
sensationalist bullshit.
when the Aladdin trailer dropped and everybody's freaking out about Will Smith being a blue genie, it's like when
What did you expect?
when Entertainment Weekly put out that spread on Aladdin last year, you guys were all freaking out that he wasn't blue, and now that he's blue, you're freaking out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, well, like I remember when Deus Ex, what was it? The most Mankind Divided. Everybody flipped out about the weird pre-order structure of that. And like, if you look, if anybody just looked at it and attempted to understand it, you could. But because people were they're bent out of shape about one aspect of it, they made the whole thing sound stupid. The chart that you guys are talking about, in my mind, isn't stupid, but the fact that you have to pay a certain amount to play it at a certain time, that is stupid. Rather than make it seem like rocket science, like, oh, I can't understand this chart, just say like, hey, it's stupid that the people who are paying the most get to play at the earliest.
Yeah.
Like,
right,
just say that. Like, this is.
Well, here's the other thing. It's like you'll get like a head start, but it's like, okay, well, whatever. Like, I'll just wait for the game to come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Division 2. Like, I'll wait you know, till launch day. I mean, it's not like Anthem, which has EA Access, has its own store where you can play it like a week early. If you're a member of that, it's like, okay, whatever. I'll just play it at launch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm fine with that. So it's just getting ridiculous. I mean, it is nice that Ubisoft, as far as I know, you know, like it's nice that the first year DLC is free. Like that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't even have to like, you know, worry about that. So it's gonna be a while before any, not even casual, but just like any normal gamer hits a point where they're like, I've run out of things to do. I need them to release more stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they've gotten ahead of what they've learned from Division 1, and they got ahead of it and said, okay, here's all the great stuff we're putting in Division 2, a lot of the same stuff that was in 1, but here is our roadmap to keep you guys occupied. Because I think it'll have more legs. Like Division 1 would have had more legs if at the end of the game you just didn't get to the dark zone and it was like, that's all it is. It's dark zone and people briefing people. And I understand that it's a PvP section, but it's like, it gets ridiculous to the point where like you're in with a gear score of like 250 and somebody's in with a gear score of like 290 and they're just wailing on you and whooping your ass. Like that's unfair. Like if the matchmaking was more fair and you were like more even keeled with the person that could go rogue, then I would, you know, then I'd be like, okay, that's fun. But when I got in there and like, it was just like, it was not fun. Like people were just going rogue all the time and they had better gear because that's all they played. And I'm like, I don't want to just play this all the time.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
and so you're just like, all right, I'm checking out. So now I think now their dark zones are different. They've got 2 PvE ones, and then they have one that's going to be just like the traditional dark zone, which I'm like, that's cool. I might hop in there. You never know. You know,
Yeah.
once I get my PvE set, like I have my PvE set, I'll probably go after a PvP set and then just get in there and try and wreck shop or something or have some fun.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I noticed about Division 1, like they were the world tiers always there?
No, that was new. They added
Okay.
that like a year after launch. So yeah, the world tiers are nice too. That'll be cool if they add that in, if that's in Division 2 and you can just bump it up after a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
because like I mean I had to do world tier 2 just to do a challenging mission.
Mhm.
And then when I went into the dark zone, even on 2, like I didn't see any like other players to like shoot. So I feel like if you were to find a way to separate it that way,
yeah.
like I mean, even if just so you don't have to memorize a whole bunch of different maps. I feel like that's a cool little idea, like where you just have this setting where you could say, yeah, put me in PvP or put me in PvE,
or like I was saying, just like even a tiered gear system. Like, what's your gear level? Okay, well here are the levels that we can throw you into PvP. Oh, your gear score is at the bottom rung. Well, we're gonna throw you in there, and even if you're at the bottom of that bottom tier, you're only working against those people instead of like the top tier and like everybody at max level. Like you can actually get around. You might still die and grief killed, but at least it's, you know, to the point where you can maybe hold your own. You might be able to get, by the end of the night, might be able to get 2 new pieces that are way better than what you had and start building your set and actually like work towards a goal instead of just spending 6 hours of your night like being shot to death by a rogue agent. And then they just do laps. Like come and they find you again and then they just kill you again. And it's just like at that point in time, you're just like, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah, it was the like what pushed me away. It was just like I go into the dark zone and I'm getting killed by the same guy.
Yeah, over and over, and you go to attack him and you can't even do anything against him.
That like
health at all, and you're like unloading on the guy while he's like, and he just shoots you like 3 round, 2-3 round bursts, and you're already down.
Yep,
like, it's insane, but. I think we're good on talking about video games. I think we're
I think we're ready for some questions.
Yeah, because you don't have very long.
I do not have very long, but that's okay. I enjoy talking.
I know we enjoy talking with you too. We just don't like you to be late to work.
Agreed.
I do. I like it when you're late to work.
Well, that's because you're a heartless bastard.
It's more fun for me.
Trying to get him fired. I need him to keep that job.
Yeah.
He needs to be able to go out drinking with me when I come up and visit.
This is true. So we're starting with the man, the myth, the legend, Deshaun Malone.
Is this like another 6-tiered question?
No, I don't. Well, I haven't read it yet, so I don't. What do you guys think about Xbox Live seemingly moving to iOS, Android, and even Nintendo Switch on top of Xbox One and PC? Not multi-tiered.
I feel like it's a smart move. They're moving away from what some people in retail industry like to call the sea of sameness. Like they're diversifying their portfolio. Really what they're doing, and that's exactly the opposite almost of what Sony's doing.
Yeah,
so like Microsoft is building like a nice little safety net under them. They're like they're building a way for them to keep Xbox around if like something goes really, really wrong with the next console. You know what I mean? What I'm saying, like, and they allow you to play. They're allowing you to play your games pretty much almost anywhere. Whereas in like Sony, for Sony,
nah, dog.
they're not like for Sony exclusives. Like you have to like buy their console, which is not a problem for me because I love their console. I love their ecosystem. I love the trophy system. Like I love the controller. Love all the exclusives. It's just like if it comes down to the point where consoles die, it's like, what is Sony going to do? And they might be moving to the point where they're like, we're just going to build PCs. You know what I mean? Because they had the Sony Vaio laptop.
Yeah, they did forever. They had PCs
forever, and then
I like the PCs a lot.
Plus, like if they improve PlayStation Now, they can put them in their Bravia TVs or whatever, you know,
Right.
and sell the controllers.
Right. And so like they can diversify their portfolio, but it's just like Microsoft is like moving at a faster pace. And like it's weird to me that Nintendo's like, yeah, put Xbox Live on our console, which in all honesty, I don't know if we had that conversation, but it's like Nintendo's probably like, we suck at online. Can we get something? I think we did. That was our conversation. I think, like, hey, yeah.
Can you teach us how to online Xbox?
How to not use Morse code anymore? How do you use this thing called a telephone?
What is this modem?
Yeah, what is a modem? Oh God, it's just
Broad what?
When we connect Smash Brothers to the internet, what is this awful noise coming out of this box?
What is this?
Why is my Switch on fire?
Those are people talking.
What?
It's just ridiculous. But
yeah. I mean, to be fair, this initial thing sounds like it's just gonna be like, hey, you can start a party chat with your friends on Xbox Live while you're playing Switch, right? You can check up on your friends. You can earn achievements on cross-platform games. Like, you know, I know Wargroove is rumored to be a game that, you know, if you own it on Switch and Xbox, you're going to be able to earn achievements, Xbox achievements on your Switch version. You know, and then, you know, check up on your friends list, check your achievements, party chat with your friends. Essentially what you can, like, the PC app essentially is where like you can have a party chat and post in your communities and stuff like that. You'll be able to do all that supposedly. But it's not like you're going to be playing your Xbox games on Switch right now. You know, there's a rumor that the xCloud thing, their streaming service, might be coming to this this version of Xbox Live at some point in the future. But, you know, that's obviously really far away, and that's just, you know, looking on Reddit and seeing a bunch of people talk about it. You know, that never really results in a lot of things, but that is a potential thing that they could do. And one other thing that this actually does, which we talked about on Nintendo Power Block, was like Nintendo benefits from getting like online, not like total online functionality, but like a workaround for like friends lists and stuff. But this gets Microsoft a foothold in Japan, which they've never had. Right. You know, and I mean, if like you want to connect with your friends, you sign into your Xbox Live account, even if you don't own an Xbox. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I know it's the official talk is at what, GDC in a couple months.
I think it's the end of March, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like middle to end of March.
There's no way to know when GDC is.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I mean, you can't look.
We don't have the internet or anything.
No, we're playing on GameCubes here. All right, Come on.
I got a Dreamcast.
Well, that went online.
I know.
That had good online. Unlike GameCube.
No, it had. I don't know if the online was good, but
hey, I played Phantasy Star for a while, so
March 18th through the 22nd. So it's actually the week. Yeah. So it's the week after Division 2 drops.
So I think this is cool. I feel like on iOS, it's not like you're going to be able to play Gears of War. I don't think and like Corey said, I feel like they're just, it's going to be, you're going to have front facing features. You're not going to be able to play games yet.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's their goal, though. I mean, on phones, definitely, I think xCloud will exist in some form. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe they're trying to backdoor their way into having a handheld on Switch without actually making hardware.
I'll tell you right now, if there's a way I could find it, if I could play Cuphead on Switch, I'd totally do it. I totally would.
Well, like we had this conversation too. Is like. We wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft started publishing their smaller games on other platforms like Ori, Cuphead, the new Battletoads game that's coming out. Like, we totally wouldn't be surprised if, you know, hey, they're like a year exclusive on Xbox One, but Microsoft will eventually publish them on Switch, but you have to sign into your Xbox Live account to use them, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something we did talk about. You're never going to play Halo natively on Switch. That's just dumb. But there's smaller games that aren't quote unquote system sellers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and the I feel like if they bring their more interesting titles like Cuphead and Ori to other platforms, hell yeah, that would get me back into Xbox for sure. I'm just not going to spend console money to do it at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Microsoft's making some interesting moves, and I know a lot of this was kind of forced on them because they're behind, but like it's forced them to do something interesting and something to talk about, you know, like it's interesting. It's super fascinating to watch them work behind the scenes. So,
well, I think that it's the mentality of being against the wall.
I mean, that's when everybody's their most creative, and
well, you're either frustratedly flailing, and that's usually when you lose, or you take that quick second and make that one thing that could actually turn the fight around. Now, do I think Microsoft is going to turn around this console generation? No, but
no, the Switch is
for next one.
But
the Switch is almost outsold Xbox One.
Right.
I think they're only like 6 million units behind.
Yeah, and you know, Metroid. I mean, and within the next 2 years, they will probably pass it because eventually we'll get more good Wii U games and people want to play them again. Hopefully,
Mario Maker 2.0.
Hell yes,
that's the rumored game supposed to be like. What was it? I think it was Metroid Prime Trilogy and Mario Maker 2.0 are supposed to bookend this direct whenever the rumored one for Wednesday. So that's the rumor.
I'm going to be looking for a direct then because I would love to know when those are happening.
You're welcome to join me for a breakdown if you want before you.
It depends. It depends. It depends on some things. I actually have a busy Wednesday. I do. Sorry. I'll keep you posted. But I
mean, if there's no direct, there's no posted.
Right, but if the direct happens, I'll watch it and let you know. I also think that, you know, as it was said in this last little exchange, like this is you know, another thing they're doing to help themselves next time around. I mean, Sony did a lot of future proofing during the PS3 generation to keep IPs in-house or to keep IPs on its platform, so it would have a nice portfolio into this generation. And its first party, while it's been stellar, it hasn't necessarily, I don't think it's really been needed just because they've been ahead for so long, which is why they could, you know, take their time. So like, I think this is a cool thing, and plus people having more access to games is really good. Also, it puts pieces into interesting places for the next generation.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So now we only have 2 questions this week. This is from Jacob Mahoney. Hey guys, I just found your podcasts and I'm loving them. I wanted to write in and ask you a question. What kinds of differences do you think we will see next generation? Are graphics as big of a deal as they used to be?
No, I mean, and Moose and I have said this 1,000 times. Like, we'd rather have a smooth 60 frames a second at 1080 or 1440p than, you know, the best looking 4K game that runs, you know, sub 30. So, I mean, I think 4K is a given next gen, but like, I would really like to see them go the extra mile and be like, look, all of our games run at 60 frames a second natively.
What I'd have no problem with them just being like, this would be cool. 1080p locked at 60 frames a second, 4K's locked at 30. You know, bare minimum. And then they could have some games where they're like, we really optimized it, and you can get you can lock it at 60 frames, per second on 4K, but then it'll dip sometimes, whatever, in the heavy modes, like it not lock it, but you could set it at 60, but it might dip. Whereas in like you can pick where you want your FPS. I'd much rather, like we said, I'd rather have 60 frames a second than 4K because I don't even have a 4K TV, and I might not even be buying one anytime soon because there's no need to. My TV still really works really well, and surprise, it's a Sony Bravia, and it still looks really, really good. So there's no need for me to buy. I mean, now I'm not saying like I haven't been in to a Best Buy or a Walmart and walked by a 4K TV and been like, holy crap, that looks amazing. I have said that multiple times, but not enough to like make a purchase yet.
Yeah.
So like I'm at the point where I'm like, I'd rather buy a PC, be able to invest in a PlayStation 5 at launch, especially if, I mean, they're probably going to sell me on one at launch. Like they'll have launch titles that I'll be like, I have got to own those, like Bloodborne 2, perhaps Horizon Zero Dawn 2. We'll see what happens. We'll see, but it's like I'd rather be able to buy that stuff than TV, especially since my TV works. So
yeah, I mean, to answer the second question first, yeah, graphics aren't as big a deal as they used to be because we're not making leaps anymore. We're just not.
Right. There's the only thing that's different is the horsepower in the machine.
Yeah.
Like graphically, there's not that big of a difference. Yeah. It just gets a little bit sharper.
Like I said, I don't remember how long ago, but the only thing different now between the only real difference now is Nathan Drake's face has a lot more pores in it than it did in Uncharted 1.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, to answer his question as far as like what do we think will come this console generation, I think it's gonna be more modular, like a PC, like to be able to take components out and swap out, like maybe upgrade the CPU or maybe add a little bit more RAM if you want to. They might even come out with tiered systems. They're like, okay, you could buy the base model for like $399. That was the starting price of the PS4, right? It was $399. Yeah, so like they could probably
$399 or $499.
No, the Xbox was $500, and then they went next and said we're at $400.
Okay. Yeah, so it was $399. So they could do like, here's our $399 tier, here's a $499 tier, and here is a $599 tier. You know what I mean? And you can upgrade, at any time to go from the lowest to the highest. You know what I mean? I think there'll be more integration with your life as far as like we got music. Spotify was added to the PS4, so like you could stream Spotify while you're playing video games to your headphones. You can also control the music on your phone through your console, so that like you can be like, I don't want to listen to this playlist anymore. I want to listen to this, or I want to just chill and listen to this while I'm running around playing stuff. Like I would listen to new music while I was playing Diablo 3 because I'd just be like trying to listen to this new stuff and check it out.
Running them damn bounties.
Yeah, doing the bounties and doing the greater rifts, and so I think that kind of stuff is what we're gonna get in the next gen. I think in all honesty, I think Xbox made a Pro controller. I think an Elite controller. Sorry. I think Sony's going to have to step up their game and release one. And I think it's going to have to become standard because like there's so many PC games that are coming out on consoles, and there's so many games that require more and more buttons. And it's like, just give me that option. You know what I mean? Put a controller that has paddles out there so that, I don't have to take my fingers off the stick when I'm playing a first person shooter. Like I can just have like the jump buttons be on the paddle, the reload or whatever, you know what I mean? So that I can just keep going and going and going, so, but that, I think we'll get that. Hopefully, if not that, we'll get something better with better integration for Sony. Xbox's Elite controllers is actually pretty dang good. So
really
I don't think they have to do anything. I mean, I could see that being the highest tier. If they tier the systems and they say, okay, well, at the highest tier, you also get an Elite controller from Xbox, or you get like a paddle controller from Sony. Like they went out and partnered with Scuff, so it could be the Scuff controller. You know, I think it was the Vantage and the Impact.
Yeah.
Which I don't buy the Vantage. Buy the first one. I think the first one was the Impact. Buy that one because the Vantage is not good. So
yeah, they've had some problems with it. I don't know. I don't know what the differences will be. I mean, everything you mentioned was nice, but every time it seems like every time we talk about the fixed frame rate, there's like every time we talk about that, it seems like Phillips gives us like 2 or 3 reasons why it's still kind of out of reach.
Yeah, that's true. He does do a good job at bursting our bubble. Well, not bursting our bubble, but bring us back to reality.
Yeah, he's like
he's a big guy like that.
He's
making us sad pandas.
Motherfucker is smart when it comes to computer tech.
Yeah.
But I think that a consistent baseline for running games should be the benchmark.
Like at least a solid 45. Like
yeah, I don't know what that baseline is because I don't know enough about tech.
I mean, there's problems when you launch a game like your Bethesda and launch a game like Fallout 4, and on the Xbox One, it's getting down to like in the tens or less frames per second. That's how much it's chugging. Like, I feel like there needs to be less of a push for resolution and more of a push for a standardized frame rate. Like Sony and or Xbox come out and say, listen, all of our games will run at a solid 30. Every single one of them. From here until the end of the console life cycle.
Yeah.
We're going to work to get to 45, and then some games will eventually run at 45, and then we will have some games where you could say, I want 60, but it'll obviously dip. You know what I mean? And that's the reality where they set those standards, and every game has to at least meet the bare minimum, or you know, like it's not allowed on the console or something.
I also feel like we will probably see a bigger move away from physical media. I feel like a lot more will be going digital.
I think we'll see experimental price points too. Like maybe a game will come out at, you know, $30, $40, $50 instead of 60. You know, I mean, we've seen a lot of that now with, Mutant Year Zero was $35.
Yeah,
that's an odd price point, but
it's a good game. It's a good game.
I mean, I would have probably paid $50 or $60 for that game. That's a good game.
Far Cry 5 or Far Cry New Dawn is I want to say Far Cry 5 New Dawn because it's a continuation. And spoilers for the first game if you haven't played the first game. But anyways, that one's $39.99, and apparently there's more content in it than there was in Far Cry 5. So it's like, okay, I mean, that's pretty badass. So it's just like, I think different price points will be good. I think we'll also see more Steam Light sales, or like we have seen a huge move away from a game staying at 60 forever. Like even this late in this console generation, we have seen Activision dropping the price of Blackout and other games, like putting them on sale. I mean, the only time you saw an Activision game on sale was like if you went out Black Friday, like, you know what I mean, after it launched and got a physical copy. Like the digital was rarely ever on sale. And now, like, I picked up Black Ops 4 for like $35. You know what I mean? Maybe not 35. It was like, I think it was $39.99. So it was like $40 instead of $60, you know, when I bought it. And so that was like, I was like, heck yeah. I was like, that's my price point with that. Like, or not my price point, but that's gated entry. It's like, okay, your price is less, you know, so I'll jump in and play your game.
Plus, I wonder how many people are going to look at the success of Apex and Fortnite and, you know, the free to play model with, you know, the cosmetic purchases and everything too, you know.
Well, I think a lot of people are going to go that route.
Especially for big multiplayer type stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that that they released Apex Legends and then Battlefield 5's Battle Royale is coming out like in March.
I know, and Anthem comes out 2 weeks after Apex. Like, it's just EA is like trying to put everything out before this fiscal year is over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because fiscal year ends.
Yeah, it seems like they might think they're in some trouble.
I think they are in some trouble.
Not as big a trouble as Activision seems to be.
No. Well, the market reality, the reality is like EA has FIFA and Madden, like they're making money.
They're not in trouble. The reality is that their profits are in trouble.
Yeah,
like they're not losing money.
No,
they're making less money than they would like to be making.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the problem, and that's the problem with like people trying to understand the situation. They're like, oh, well, they're losing money and da da da. It's like, no, like the shareholders are sad because they're not making as much money as they were, and they want to do something, and humans are your most expensive resource, and that's the first thing to go.
Yep.
So, and then they're gonna make everybody that stays behind try and do the work that's left behind and
do what's left over for the same money.
Right, and run them into the ground. That's exactly what's going to happen. And then it's capitalism. We're like locusts, man.
This is why people talk about crunch, like because this shit comes up, and it might not even be an actual crunch, but it's because this is just daily operation now. Yeah. Like
it just sucks. And they had, like we were saying, they have no protection. There's no protection. Those studios could close and they're owed like nothing.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, it just sucks. I mean, what is nice, at least like at least there's like a community out there that's like, hey, if you're a developer that like lost your job, like reach out to us, and people are, like the rest of the community is like trying to help those people find jobs. Like it just sucks. Yeah. So then you get into like an ethical discussion with yourself on like when you want to buy a game. It's like, should I buy this game or should I not? You know what I mean? So
yeah, and like I had to have that discussion about Red Dead. Just like fuck. Yeah. Like I want shit to happen in a vacuum so it's easy.
Yeah, you want it to be like,
but it doesn't. Like,
no, it's like an extremely gray area.
Yeah,
it's extremely gray.
Yeah,
and I feel like we were saying, like I think a union would help make it more of a black and white, like less gray and less like ethically questionable behavior. If that is even a statement that would work. But yeah.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so Corey, do you have anything to add to Jacob Mahoney's question? I think you're the one that spoke the least on that. Okay, so I feel like we can end it there because I am 4 minutes past my out.
Yep. Sorry, probably fine.
That's fine. It's fine. I'll be good. So my name is Matthew Keel. This has been episode 132 of Nerds Gone Rogue. You can find me at Infinite_Rewind everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, PSN, all them places. And that's where you find me. Come play games with me. I still have to do the Rogue Trophy in Division, so I'm gonna be doing that for a while. Hopefully not too long. Moose, where can we find you? Besides Nerd Gone Platinum.
You can find me at Svhenn on PSN, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I stream occasionally. Last weekend, or I did stream 2 weekends ago, some Bloodborne. I will probably be streaming Far Cry New Dawn this weekend at some point.
Cool.
Have some fun with that because I feel like it's part of, there's co-op play to it, and it's part of our co-op challenge, but I don't want to jump in co-op until I get my feelings for the game. You know what I mean? Like feel the game out and get to a point where I'm like, okay, let's jump in and do some stuff. But that's where you can find me. Oh, and Nerds Gone Platinum.
Yeah. talking about PlayStation. Corey,
Word.
take us home.
You can find me at CoreyinHD713 on Twitter. You can find me at CoreyinHD on Instagram and Twitch. I'll be streaming some Apex Legends this week because I want to get more into streaming and less into the YouTube recording, editing thing. So, yeah, you can find me there. You can find me on Nintendo Power Block talking about Nintendo stuff, giving away Yoshi's Crafted World. So, go there for details. You can find me on plenty of other content here as well. I want to thank everybody for watching. Remember, you can find Nerds Gone Rogue every Monday on your podcast service of choice, or join us live on Monday nights. You can also find us on Twitter at Nerds Gone Rogue and on Instagram at nerdsgonerogue_official. If we are streaming anything together, it will be on twitch.tv/NGR radio, where I think we're actually going to start live streaming some of our shows there as well, so you can check that out. And check out all of our content on ngrradio.com. And subscribe to all of our shows at ngrradio.com/subscribe. I want to thank everybody for watching. And until next time, we love you.
Banana and out.
You're welcome.